Hey guys, welcome back. I just want to talk about something that comes up in my mind this morning, especially when it comes to mass migration and competition, and mass migration and H1B1 immigrants. Now, this is a very political topic, in my opinion, but I just want to talk about the fact that there are individuals today who there's nothing wrong for immigrants. Immigrants such as myself, my family, we worked really hard to simulate and actually become part of the culture by understanding the values of the people, such as America. But I don't know. I don't know if this is a very popular topic, especially to talk about through the media. I want to talk about the fact that there are some individuals, such as third world countries, who do not have value. What I mean by that is like they don't bring value to the table. Instead of just letting people come in, it's important for the fact that they're willing to appreciate the value in the culture and willing to simulate as much as possible. Now, everything is getting to a point where we're trying to let these people live in our culture, but however, these people are putting their religious mentality and their culture against our culture. And I have to say, there's a problem with that. For instance, there's nothing wrong for you to speak another language, such as um, your family's language, if you're a second generation immigrant, such as myself. But however, when you're in public, I think it's important to actually speak um, English or whatever country that you're in, so everybody in the native area will appreciate you and willing to actually work with you. These are very important things. But however, that we're coming to a day and age where there are immigrants that can't simulate, so to speak. They don't want to try, and I could see this through my end of the bargain because I'm a Hispanic person myself. But the thing is like I talk to a lot of Hispanos or Hispanic people such as myself, and they don't even try to speak English, and it's a big, huge spin on to the American people. Um, it's something I want to talk about today and address because it's a big, huge topic I have a problem with. Not just that, some of these people use the money of the people who worked really, really hard, who are actually citizens, and distribute that money to another culture and another problem. See, I think the people are forgetting the fact that you come to a country to bring values, and on top of that, you're willing to simulate because you love the culture, you love the people, you love the mentality. It's a good opportunity. I get it. Everybody wants money, but the funny thing is that not everybody deserves money. For instance, let me give you a fact. Uh, no matter how much money you give to a country in Africa, or African countries, such let's use South Africa for example. It doesn't matter how much money you give to them, they will always stay like that. Why? It's because I hate to say it, some of these people can't do it. Some people can't simulate, and it's not their fault. It's just the truth. Most people don't want to talk about these things because it's a big burden towards society that we have so much problems here at home. Why should we actually help other people? Especially in third world countries. That's the big, huge problem. They're coming here, they're not simulating. They don't want to be part of our values. They can't even speak English. And it's very frustrating when I see some people who are my people who are Hispanos and they don't even try to speak English at all. And they live here for 20 years. And I get a little bit frustrated with that because it is disrespectful for the people who lived here. And that's the thing when it comes to coming to a first world country, is that you're there to bring value, make it better, skills, or matter of fact, actually willing to learn the language of that culture. That's why Poland is a very successful country. That's why El Salvador is doing a really good job making itself a third world country to a first world country. And these are like topics that most people are not talking about. For instance, there's a lot of my friends who are Japanese speakers and they work really hard to learn Japanese. And I'm not going to lie, that's very, very impressive in my opinion. But there are some people who go to Japan and put their entitlement towards how they're supposed to govern and their political view to the people, and that's not okay. And I don't really care if you come to a country, for instance, go to China, you don't do that. You keep your problems here when you go, and that's the bottom line. It's pretty straightforward. Um, but there are some individuals who are just entitled to put their theories and put their mentality and put their ideology and their religion towards other people. And I'm sorry, you can't do that. That's just the bottom line. Now, however, I do. Let's talk about H1B1. H1B, my bad. Excuse me. There's this funny concept that our government is willing to buy these people, send them to this country, but they don't have any values. For instance, I was curious of why there's a lot of Indians who runs these gas stations. Do you ever notice that, or liquor store? And some of these people can't even speak English. They don't even want to try to speak English at all, and it gets very, very frustrating because sometimes they can't even speak English. And not just that, I don't know if you noticed, but as a used to be DoorDasher, the popular food in my town is Indian food. Now, there's nothing wrong with Indian food, but what about American food? You should actually simulate to American food because you live in America. You don't speak Hindi in America. You speak English. Is it vice versa? It goes to Spanish. There's a problem with the fact that there's so many people who comes from poor countries who are entitled to put their ideology towards the native people. And this is what I want to talk about, because now these days, people don't realize that some people just can't simulate, and that's okay. But the thing is, you cannot tell the natives what to do. And if you do, you should go back to your country. If you really love, let's say, India so much, putting your Indian flag, doing your Indian festival, you should go back to your country. And if you don't like that, that's the bottom line. You don't bring your problems here. The problem is same thing, and I'm not bashing Americans because I do see this in abroad when I went visit to Europe, such as Italy or Spain. There are, for example, there are some Americans who bring their American entitlement towards another country. They're loud, obnoxious, they're a buffoon, they make a fool of themselves, and that's just not the way. I think it's important for you to integrate and be part of that society as much as you can. But the thing is, people are super entitled, super lazy, super um, lazy. They don't want to be part of that. And this is a big issue, just in general. So I always say this, like, if you want to go to a country, there's nothing wrong for you to go to the country. Try not to focus on going to the country because the women or opportunity or money or lifestyle in general. You go to a country because you like the culture. You go to the country because you agree the value. You love the mentality. You go to a country because you see yourself as that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because the bottom line is, no matter where you go, if you can't try to fix you or try to fix your bad habits, you're going to bring that with you no matter what. And the real reason why I'm talking about this today, because I was talking to one of my friends who went to go to Thailand, and he loves Thailand, and he wants to go and get a Thai woman. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the fact that, are you just going there because you like the grandiosity or the the fetishism of Thai people or Thai women? Because they're easy to have and easy to get, and or the Philippines because they're easy to get and they're easy to have. And if the answer is yes, then you're the problem. See, this is why I think when it comes to going abroad or but I don't, there I'll make another video about that. This is just an example of expectation. Back to topic about H1B1. You go to a country because you want to be part of our culture. You go to our country so you can speak our language and willing to work with us, get an education, and find ways to better your life. And not just that, willing to simulate as much as you can. I think it's important to think like this because the more we could think about this, the more we can rat out people who shouldn't be in our society. And I do meet some immigrants who speak English very well than the natives, and they really love the American culture, for example, or Spain culture, or Italy culture, or European culture, and it's very impressive because I know it's really hard. How do I know this hard? Because I'm trying to learn a language that is super really hard. I will talk about foreign language in another topic, but um, it's just I understand that because the struggle, the relationship, the slang, and everything, it can be very overwhelming. But I think it's important for the fact that the native people have the right to tell the foreigners what to do. They do because this is their culture, this is their land, their ancestors fought in this land, and it's something to be respectable about. Now, there's nothing wrong of you simulating and willing to be part of that culture because the bottom line is the reason why you're here in the first place is because there's a lot of problem in your country. And most people don't actually think like this. It's something we need to think about, especially when it comes to today and age. Because, and the bottom line is this, we're going to live in a society where you could do whatever you want and don't want to put in the work, don't want to be part of the culture at all. All focus on the material things, and that's the problem. Because these are examples or the things what I see in social media and my perspective when I went to abroad. And I really think it's important to think about like little things like that. So that way you can actually be part of something. So we focus on the fact that, excuse me, there's a church bell. It's really, really nice. Sorry about that. But no, but the thing is in the fact that we need to focus on seeing the problem, address it, and try to focus on the real reason why you're here in the first place is because you love the culture, you love the people, you love the mentality, you love the values. And that's the real reason why you should go to another country. And the more we could start thinking like this, the more we can actually make the world a better place, especially when we go visit to the first world countries. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like my content, please subscribe, leave the comment down below, and I wish you guys a blessed day. Be safe. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.